Hello, movie reviewed again here. Our story this time begins with a boy named Takuma Sakamoto, a shy gamer, who is taken into the world of his favorite game, Cross Reverie. Even though he is skinny in real life, in the game he is known as Demon Lord Diablo, a muscular gray-haired demon with horns. He is just as powerful in the game world as he is in the real world. He is summoned by two beautiful girls. A blonde airhead elf named Cher and a serious black-haired cat girl named Rem, try to cast an enslavement spell on him. However, since he wears the Demon Lord's ring, an item that reflects all magic, they become his slaves instead. Unable to get rid of the magical slave collars that appear around their necks, they travel to a town called Fultra where the three of them finally get in touch with Celestine Baudelaire, who is the leader of the Mage Association. Celestine has promised to figure out how to get Rem and Cher out of their slave collars, which can't be taken off or broken at that time. Diablo has a reason to think that Rem is keeping something from him, so he forces her to tell him in secret. Rem says that the soul of Krebscume, the Demon Lord, has been sealed inside her body. Celestine is the only one who knows this, and they have been working on a plan to catch Krebscume and kill him without also killing Rem. Feeling sorry for her, Diablo promises to help her destroy Krebscume, making Rem cry with happiness. Later, when Diablo is out for a walk, the angry mage Gallic comes up to him with a big fire-breathing salamander. Gallic is surprised when Diablo kills the creature easily. He says he is Diablo, the Demon Lord from another world. The next day, the girls and Diablo go to the Adventurers Guild and sign up to be adventurers so they can start making money. However, the power measuring equipment doesn't work when they try to measure Diablo's level. Sylvie, the guildmaster, is interested in what is going on and tells the adventurers to kill a Madara snake in the man-eating woods. They are surprised by a group of elves who tell them that Shera is the princess of Greenwood. Shera ran away from the kingdom because she didn't want her brother to force her to marry him and have his child. She refuses to come back with the elves, and when they say they're going to take her by force, a fight breaks out. The elves attack Diablo by shooting both regular and magical arrows, but all of them bounce off Diablo. He then casts a spell that freezes the ground in a big circle around him, making the archers unable to move. Gallic, who had previously told the elves where to find them and wants revenge on Diablo, comes out of hiding and publicly scolds the elves for their failure. He then runs away when Rem tells him to stop. Shera gives the elves orders, telling them to go back and tell her brother that she won't be going home. The next day, Diablo and Shera are in charge of bringing drinks to the guards who are stationed at the bridge of Ulug. Emil Bichelberger attacks Diablo because he thinks that Shera and Rem are willing slaves. He is quickly defeated, and the girls tell him what's going on. He finally understands. While Diablo and Shera are delivering the package, the guards tell them that a big army made up of only fallen is coming. Since the knights guarding the fort are weak, Diablo decides to fight off the fallen. Celestine tells Rem that she fired Gallic because of how he was acting. She then tells Rem that she is worried that Diablo is a fallen. When Rem hears this, she is shocked. Gallic bursts through the door and yells out that he hasn't been fired. When he kills himself by stabbing himself in the back with a cursed knife, his body is taken over by the curse, and he becomes the fallen Gregor. After Diablo has killed each member of the fallen, Edelgard, the leader of the fallen, shows up and challenges him to a fight. Celestine and Rem are being chased by Gregor, who wants to kill Celestine so that he can break down the defenses Celestine built around the city. Emil and a group of other adventurers come to help them when they are surrounded by enemies. Diablo uses a powerful spell called White Nova to wipe out the fallen army and most of the land. Edelgard is defeated. However, she appears to be just fine and only left naked. Diablo and Shera use teleportation to go back in time and try to stop Emil from dying. Diablo is angry about how many people Gregor has hurt and killed. He uses his magic to humiliate Gregor until he begs for forgiveness before finally lock him in a dimension of darkness for good. After going to the funerals of the people who died in Gregor's attack, a tired Shera tries to get with Diablo, but a jealous Rem attacks her. Sylvie sends a message to the leaders of Greenwood, telling them that Shera must be brought back to Greenwood within 10 days or there will be war. When Chester Ray Galford, the lord of the city, asks him to stop war from happening, Diablo panics and wants to say no. But when he hears that Shera's brother has put a huge bounty on her head, he gets angry and promises to protect her no matter what. An imperial knight named Alicia Christella has been sent by Chester to help them with their plans. Celestine takes the group to see Madios, a slave trader who used to study magic, to find out how to get Rem and Shera out of their collars. She notices Krebscume's presence in Rem when they meet Madios, but Shera misunderstands her and thinks she's saying Rem is pregnant. Madios tells us that a master can free a slave from a collar by putting their magical power into the body of the slave. Diablo tries to do the act on Shera, but he quickly gives up because he feels embarrassed, even though Shera finds it very enjoyable. After some time has passed, Shera's brother, Kira, shows up. He apologizes for the bounty hunters and tries to convince Shera to go back with him. After she said again that she wouldn't come back, he left after she told him she would come back with him if she wanted to. Diablo thinks back to his childhood, when many of the people he thought of as his friends would use him and then leave him. When he is alone with Shera, does he realize how easy it is for him to make potions. Kira's flute playing, which happens outside, gets Shera to join in with her brother. Diablo is upset about being left alone again, but Rem and Alicia figure out that Shera has been hypnotized, and the rest of the group makes plans to free her. Shera is being held prisoner in Kira's tent while Kira asks her about her relationship with Diablo. Shera says that Diablo never touched her while they were together, but Kira doesn't believe her. Kira casts a spell that makes a slime creature eat her clothes. He then gets ready for the action, but just in time, the gang shows up and beats Kira's bodyguards. Kira uses the flute to hypnotize Shera again, and then he talks Shera into staying with her brother. But Diablo uses his power as the owner of her collar to force Shera to tell the truth, and Shera says she wants to stay with Diablo and Rem instead of her brother. Kira's anger makes him call on a terrible monster called the Force Hydra. Even though the Force Hydra can heal itself, Diablo is still able to defeat it by completely destroying it with fire. Shera begs him to spare Kira because he is still Shera's brother, and he agrees. Suddenly, Galford and his guards appear out of nowhere and behead Kira with a sword. Galford says they are now at war with Greenwood because Kira brought elven soldiers to his territory. He tells his guards to kill the elven troops hiding in the forest and capture Shera. Turns out, Galford was waiting for an excuse to start a war with Greenwood. Diablo fights Galford, who is faster, stronger, and smarter than anyone else he has faced in this world. After a long fight, Diablo manages to surprise Galford with a thunder spell and bring him to his knees. And because Alicia said she would tell the king about Chester's bad behavior, Chester finally has to give up and pull his troops back. While Alicia is waiting for her meeting with the king, she runs into Saddler, an arrogant paladin who is going to Fortress City to look into Diablo. Alicia and Saddler talk to each other. Shera calls up a turkey shot and puts a collar around its neck before using it. Diablo shows her how to improve her aim with arrows by using the turkey shot's ability to talk to its owner and tell them what it sees. Next, while Shera and Rem were bathing, they were approached by Edelgard, the fallen warrior. She told them that the demon lord Krebscume's soul is inside Rem, but he won't attack them because Krebscume's soul is fragile. After explaining how a 3-day ritual at Starfall Tower can kill Krebscume without hurting Rem, Edelgard leaves after the two of them come to an agreement. After 3 days, Alicia comes back to tell them that Saddler is dangerous. They do everything they can to avoid him, but he and his followers always find them. Saddler makes fun of Diablo's friends for having ties to a demon lord and uses magic to hurt Rem. He then goes on to criticize Diablo. After that, he tries to turn Diablo into stone, but Diablo is able to reflect the spell and instead turn Saddler into stone. The adventurers go to Starfall Tower. Edelgard tells Diablo that he must put his magical power into Rem through her genital in order to free Krebscume. Even though it makes him feel bad, he does it anyway, and a huge, scary demon turns into a cute little kid. Krebscume can't remember anything. When Shera gives her some biscuits, she thinks she was reborn to eat all the biscuits in the world, and so Shera and Rem decide she doesn't need to be killed because she isn't a threat to people. Edelgard agrees to the terms because she is committed to Krebscume and doesn't care what Alicia says. Suddenly, the fallen Ulrix attacks Krebscume because he doesn't like Krebscume's weaker form and refusal to kill. But Edelgard and Diablo are able to drive him away. As they get closer to Fortress City, Edelgard leaves because Fallen are not allowed inside. Just so that there won't be a panic, they decide to change Krebscume's name to Clem. Diablo is shocked and embarrassed when Shera and Clem strip down to him and rub against him to give him magical power. While Shera and Diablo were busy, Alicia told Saddler about Rem and Clem, which got the two of them locked up. Alicia's goal is to make Clem so miserable that she can't forget who she is. When they wake up in a cage, Rem makes Clem promise not to kill anyone and stay the same until they are taken to a church where Saddler, who thinks he is a god who gives justice, tells them they will go to heaven by being tortured. Diablo and Shera are looking for Rem and Clem while a large army of Fallen moves toward Fortress City. Clem tries to protect Rem, but when Saddler attacks her, Rem uses her own body as a shield and gets stabbed several times. Seeing this, Clem gets into a rage, turns into her full form as a giant black demon with huge horns and many red eyes, and just looks at Saddler. She kills Saddler and leaves nothing behind before flying out of the church. When Shara and Diablo found out what happened, they went to the church and met the Krebscume. Alicia and Edelgard are happy to see that Krebscume has fully come back to life, while Diablo is trying to avoid her attacks. Krebscume is trying to hit him with her strong and dark energy beams from her mouth while he is casting a spell around her at the church by putting seals on the ground. Shara uses health potions to heal Rem, who is bleeding on the floor, until she finally wakes up feeling better. Diablo places the last seal and casts the spell, which hurts Krebscume with fire, water, and wind, but doesn't kill her. Rem comes out of the church so Krebscume can see she is still alive, which calms her down and makes her go back to her human form. Because Alicia failed, an army of fallen attacks her. Edelgard is able to defeat them, and she tells Alicia to leave. Sylvie tries to kill Clem because of the damage she caused, but Diablo stops her by casting a spell that makes Clem his slave and puts a collar around her neck. A slave can't disobey their master, which makes Sylvie change her mind about killing Clem. Later, Alicia shows up and says that she brought Edelgard into the city while she was hiding from the other fallen. Edelgard is in a lot of pain, and Alicia begs Clem to help her. Clem does help her. Clem tells Edelgard not to kill any more mortals. Rem tries to get Alicia to explain what she did, and she tells her about the pain she went through in the past and why she wants to kill all mortals. She said that since she was a child, she has seen so many selfish, greedy people who pretend to be good that she thinks humanity as a whole is ugly and doesn't deserve to exist. After that, she is getting ready to kill herself to pay for her sins. Diablo tells Alicia that dying isn't a way to make up for her sins and that she should follow her own path in life. Diablo falls asleep because he is so tired, which is embarrassing because all 5 girls can see him while they rub themselves against him to give him their magical powers. The next day, Edelgard changes into a person and blends in with the people around him. On the other hand, Alicia says goodbye to everyone, full of hope, and goes on a journey to find herself. Thanks for watching until the end. If you liked the video, please subscribe and give it a like. It only takes a second, but it means a lot to us. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.